Now I'm gonna try and say this without sounding too arrogant, pompous, or boastful. So I have taken some of the most important exams of my life and absolutely nailed them while fasting during Ramadan in Norway, which has one of the longest fasts in the whole freaking world. And the reason why I was able to do this is because I have been following certain strategies and principles which have really helped me optimize my lifestyle and productivity during Ramadan. Was that too arrogant of me to say? I don't know, you tell me. What's cooking, sapiens? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Arham and I'm a final year medical student at the University of Oslo in Norway, currently on my gap semester. Let's dive straight into the first tip, which is be like a snake. Okay, hear me out. I'm not saying that you should become venomous like a snake and start backbiting people or talking crap about people behind their backs. What I'm saying is something else. I'm saying that the first thing that comes to people's mind when they think of a snake, apart from the horror and death, is that snakes are wobbly. They are flexible creatures. So flexible that at one point in my life, I actually thought that snakes did not even have any bones. They were basically spineless creatures. So be like a snake, be flexible. There is no point having a very rigid routine during Ramadan, because Ramadan itself is supposed to be a month where you wind off, where you relax, where you reflect, where you sort of have a connection with your inner self and your spiritual creator or your spiritual self as well. So having a very rigid and strict routine during Ramadan would be just counterproductive. Let me give you an example of how I practically apply this in my routine during Ramadan. So suhoor, for those who don't know, is the meal that you have at dawn, at sunrise, right? So you wake up in the morning, let's say at 3 a.m. You have your meal, you have your food, and then you pray, and then most people go back to bed. However, this is where I sort of intervene during Ramadan. If I have to wake up at, let's say, 7 in the morning, right, and I had my suhoor, my meal, at 4, then I have this 3-hour window where personally, if I have to wake up at 7, let's say I have to go to work or to university or whatever, then I don't see the point in going back to bed for these 3 hours and then waking up again and going through that exact torture of waking up, brushing your teeth, and getting ready to go to work. I would prefer in that scenario to stay awake for the next 3 hours and get tons of work done during this window after suhoor and before work. On other days, if I luckily do not have to wake up for work at 7, 6 or whatever that time may be, I will go to bed after suhoor and really get a good night's sleep and wake up whenever I feel like waking up. The second tool I use is to basically create urgency by identifying my slumping hours and my power hours. So slumping hours is basically the time of the day when your energy levels are low, you haven't had any food and water for the whole day, you are tired, you don't feel like putting any work, and you just want to lie on the couch on your phone and let the time pass. And I have identified my slumping hours to be, for example, after iftar. So when I open my fast and immediately have tons of food, I get very, very lazy. And I also have my slump before opening my fast, like approximately 2 hours before iftar, I am in a major slump. On the other hand, my power hours, where I'm feeling energetic, where my energy levels are high, where I want to put in the work, where I'm feeling motivated, is basically after suhoor and like 1 to 2 hours after I come back home from work or university, let's say till 5 p.m. for example. And your slumping hours and power hours might be completely different to mine, so you have to identify your own. And here is one very important point. So in Ramadan, actually you have much more time to yourself, because, or at least I do, because first of all, I'm saving tons of time by not having those 3 or 4 meals throughout the day, because one meal for me is approximately like 30 minutes, half an hour, and that's because when I eat, I just don't sit and eat. I also watch something on YouTube or Netflix, which takes up a lot of time. So I'm saving approximately 1 to 2 hours over there. And also during Ramadan, I normally do not hit the gym, simply because I do not have the energy for that. And hence I'm saving around 3 hours every single day during Ramadan, and hence I have much more time to myself. And this is exactly why I need to create that urgency, because Parkinson's law states that the more time you have, the more lazy you basically get, right? Work expands to fill the time that you allocate to it. So if I have 3 more hours during the day, it will take me 3 extra hours to get my work done, compared to if I did not have those 3 hours. And hence I need to create that urgency by telling myself that okay, I have to get all my work done before my slumping hours start. And this mindset really helps me to maximize utility of my power hours, makes me more productive when I'm actually working, because I know that okay, I have to get this work done before this deadline where my slumping hours start. The third tip to maximize efficiency and productivity during Ramadan is to avoid drinking tea, avoid chai, and avoid drinking coffee. And I know if you're brown, if you're desi, you live by chai, you drink chai, you breathe chai, you inhale, exhale, everything's supposed to be chai. I know that. But during Ramadan, it's very good to avoid that because these drinks or these beverages contain caffeine. And why is caffeine bad during Ramadan? It's bad because caffeine actually has a diuretic effect on your body, which means that it increases urine production. So when you pee more, you automatically flush out more water and more salt from your body. And what happens next is that you automatically feel more thirsty while fasting. And that feeling of thirst, especially in warmer climates, is something that you have to minimize at all costs if you want to maximize your efficiency. So stick to the basics. Let's stick to the good old water and stay hydrated and avoid caffeine drinks. Tip number 4 is to actually work in bursts, which means that while working, if you suddenly feel distracted, then that is the moment that you know that, okay, now I have to stop because my mind is starting to wander. So I need to go out and have a small break. And here's the trick. Most people, while taking the break, just pick up their phones and start scrolling through TikTok and Instagram, and they call that a break. That is not a break. If you genuinely want a break and let your mind relax, you have to go out, maybe do some meditation, or get some fresh air for that matter. That's what a true break really is. It really re-energizes your brain, and that's what you want. So work in small bursts, and the moment that you know that I'm being distracted, stop and take a break. Tip number 5 is to actually avoid decision fatigue. Now, there's a reason why you see people like Mark Zuckerberg and other billionaires wear the exact same clothes every single day. Now, I'm not saying that by wearing the same clothes every single day, you will certainly become much more efficient or much more productive. However, what I'm saying is that you need to plan your days ahead. You need to plan beforehand on what you are going to do the day after, and avoid that decision fatigue, the time where you have to sit down like in the morning and decide what you want to do. Avoid that by actually deciding what you have to do the day before. Like, for example, after iftar, when your energy levels are again high, you can sit down and plan your next day, right? And then the next day, instead of spending time and energy on planning your day, you can simply execute the plan that you have already made the day before. The last and final tip is to actually utilize slow fuel, which means complex carbohydrates. Now, I know if you are from a brown desi household, it's very, very hard to avoid eating samosas and pakoras and all that deep fried stuff, which is, by the way, very delicious during iftar. But the point is, eating that will not really give you any energy. It will make you feel full, tired, drowsy, and just sleepy basically. You want to avoid that at all costs and try eating stuff or a diet that will help you stay energized throughout the day. Avoid relying on foods that give you simple carbohydrates, because simple carbohydrates like chocolate, for example, give you an immediate spike in your blood sugar, making you feel very energized. But the problem is that the moment you go up, then you immediately face a crash of your blood sugar levels as well. And when that crash happens, that is when you suddenly have that slump. So by having complex carbohydrates instead, like oatmeal, for example, my go-to, rice, or even grains like roti or chapati, bread, these will release energy in your system, in your body, in your bloodstream throughout the day, and hence supplying you with constant energy and constant glucose. That's a wrap for today, Sapiens. I hope you guys have a blessed Ramadan, and comment down below if you have any questions. And also you can watch this video, which will surely add some value to your lives, and be sure to subscribe, to kiss that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys on the other side. Take care. Peace.